Yes, Mr. Malloy.
Does the court please, my lord? My lord, the arrangements with the defense was that the evidence of Sgt Mogane stood down as they wanted the evidence of Mr. Dupree, the tracker expert, to be led first, and that has since happened. Sgt Mogane is here for the cross-examination to be continued.
Okay, by whom first?
I think it was Advocate Nisi who was cross-examining Sgt Mogane.
Yeah, quite.
Sanibona bafowethu, namhlanje sibheka ngobufakazi buka-Sgt Mogane uzothonywa imibuzo abamele.
Yes, you're still under oath.
Yes, Sergeant, lesale ka fase ga kano ya go bolela nnete nkere? Confirmed, my lord?
Yes.
As it please the court, my lord. My lord, it will be recalled that I requested my cross-examination on this witness to be stood down pending the evidence of Mr. Dupree.
Yeah.
However, having meticulously listened to the evidence of Mr. Dupree, I'm falling short of any question to this witness, my lord. It is therefore on those basis that I won't have any questions to this witness, my lord. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Manje ummeli uthi njengoba bekacele ukuthi ubufakazi buka-Sgt Mogane bumiswe ukuze umnumzana uDupree azaqede ngobufakazi bakhe, uthi manje ubona ukuthi ngemva kokuthi ezwe lo buyafakaza akanayo imibuzo angayihloma uSgt Mogane.
Mr. Miyeki?
As it pleases the court, my lord, I have questions for this witness.
Yes. Sorry, just before you do that, Mr. Minister, you remember there was the alleged document which was supposed to be a secret report from Sgt Mogane. You still have you still have the right to cross-examine on that document if you want to. It's, by the way, that secret document is supposed to be exhibit. Yeah, the one which was prepared by, the report which was prepared by Sgt Mogane for the eyes of the court and the defense, but unfortunately, before that could happen, it was divulged to the accused.
Everything the court, my lord, I'm aware of the content
Yeah.
of that report. However, on the same vein, I don't have any questions.
Okay, we don't have.
Thank you,
All right.
Inkantolo yambuza ngaleya ncwadi le bekade bekwamele kube yenkantolo yodwa la ukuthi usajeni uye wathi nani niye nagcina seniyibonile uthi ummeli yebo nangokho bengikade nginemibuzo kodwa okwamanje angisenayo imibuzo nangayo leya ncwadi leya.
Yes, Mr. Nomalo. Cross-examination regarding the two exigencies.
Yes, I don't have any cross-examination on his evidence and further on that document.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nobaba Nxumalo naye uthi akanayo imibuzo nangayo leya ncwadi leyana.
And Mr. Mnyeke.
As it pleases the court, my lord. Good morning, Sgt Mogane.
Thobela Sgt Mogane. Good morning, sir.
Sgt Mogane, now we know that on the 18th June 2020, you traveled to Carltonville with accused number 2. Is that correct?
Re ba gore ka di 18 ja June 2020 le na le le sepla le mo latofatsa wa bobedi le ya Carltonville ke nnete. Uyavuma uthi yebo njengoba sewusho ukuthi seniyazi ukuthi nge-18 zika June ngeke ngahamba nombangalelwa uyiqiniso lokho na uthi yebo yiqiniso siya eCarltonville.
And we also know that you left Pretoria police station at 8:11. Is that correct?
Re a tseba gape le gore le sepetse police stationing ya Pretoria metsotso ye le sometere ka moraga iri ya seswai go jwalo. I do not recall what time did we leave Pretoria. However, on that particular day, we left from Pretoria. Manje uyasho ummeli uthi siyazi nokuthi ngalelo langa sinihambe imizuzu beyishume nanye ngemva kwehora lesishagalombili ekseni uma sinisuka ePretoria uthi isikhathi angisasikhumbuli kodwa ke ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngalelo langa sisuke uhambo lwethu belisuka ePretoria.
And we also know that you arrived at Carltonville around 10:25. Is that correct?
Ra kwa gape le gore le fitlhe Carltonville metsotso e 25 ka moraga iri ya lesome go jwalo. I will also confirm that indeed we went to Carltonville. However, I do not recall the time. Manje sizwile nokuthi eCarltonville nifike imizuzu mase seyishume nanhlanu ngemva kwehora lesishume ekseni uthi ngingasho ngithi yebo kodwa isikhathi angisasikhumbula ukuthi besithini isikhathi uma sifika lapha eCarltonville.
Sgt Mogane, we also know that you remained in the Sibanye mine for at least up to 7 hours on that day.
Gape re kwele rape setse re tseba gore le dutse mola mo tulong ela ya Sibanye mo merafong ye leng gore lena le dutse nako e ka lekanang iri tse supileng. It could be almost those hours.
And we know,
sesizwile nokuthi nihleli lapha emayini isikhathi esingalingana namahora ayisikhombisa uthi ngaba khona lapho kulezo inkhathi.
and we also know that on your return to Pretoria, your first stop was at Engine Garage at Murray Street. Is that correct?
Re kwela gape le gore go tlogeng from Pretoria. Did you say from Pretoria, my lord?
From Carltonville back to
Carltonville.
Pretoria.
Re kwela gape le gore go tloga Carltonville tulo ya mathomo mo le emeng gona e be le Engine Garage ya Murray Street go jwalo. I would not recall the name of the street, however it was in Alberton. Sizwile futhi nokuthi manisuke Carltonville niye nama Engine Garage yase Murray Street uthi igama lomgwaqo ngeke ngilikhumbule kodwa ngiyakhumbula ukuthi siyesama garage Alberton.
And we also know now that you remained at that engine garage from 1853 until the next morning.
Re a tseba gore gape le dutse gona mo garage ewe go tlogelleng nako ge be go šetše metsotso e šupa pele ga iri ya bošupa thapama go fihlelleng tšatši le latelang. That is correct. Siyazi futhi nokuthi nina nifikela phayana egaraji makusele imizuzu eyisikhombisa ngaphambi kwehora lesikhombisa futhi nina naba lapho kufikela ilanga elilandelayo uthi yebo iqiniso.
Can you remind the court that from that 1853 until midnight, what was happening?
Le ka go tša kgoro gore ka nana kwewe go tlogelleng metsotso e šupileng pele ga iri ya bošupa go fihlelleng bošego gare go be go diragala eng? As I have testified to the court that we had a problem with our vehicle, njengoba besesengchazile ukuthi imoto yethu yayikade isihlupha ngaleli yalanga uma sifika egarage. That's when we went into that garage, myself and the late Sgt Mabena kulasi yesangena lapho mina no Mufi uSgt Mabena and the accused Bongani Ntanzi no mangalelwa uBongani Ntanzi. And I contacted my commander, informing my commander that we had a problem with our vehicle, and my commander is Brigadier Gininda, and we were going into the garage. Utige uyawashayela ucingo ku commander wakhe oku Brigadier uGininda yazisa ukuthi bahlushwa imoto futhi bangena egarage.
And
he informed me that it would be best if we call Ekurhuleni Metro Police so that they would give us backup whilst we are still at that particular place. Kula uye wangcebisa ke ubrigadier wathi kimi kungcono sishayele Ekurhuleni Metro Police ukuthi beze bazosixhasa njengoba sisase lapho egarage.
It's enough, you can hold it there. Sergeant, do you admit that this crucial evidence, this crucial piece of evidence, you never mention it in your evidence in chief?
Bare le a dumela gore botlhatsi bo eleng gore bo botlhokwa kudu lena ga seng ke la botlhalosha ge be le thoma ka botlhatsi ba lena kgorong.
Which evidence is that? The fact that he found Gininda?
No, the evidence that there was
Which evidence?
The evidence, my lord, that they stopped at that garage for the entire evening until midnight.
Yes,
Sergeant. Bona ba gore lena le yeme mo la garage mošego ka moka ga seng ke le botlhaloshe ge be le fana ka botlhatsi le thoma.
Because Pretoria 3:30 to 4.
If you were listening to my evidence well, I did explain in my evidence in chief, and in actual fact we did not stop there the whole night because we had arrived at Pretoria around 3 a.m. Uthike lobufakazi lobu obuqayi kanjena wena awuzange uchaze la enkantolo ngalesikhathi ukhana ngobufakazi bakho mawuqala uthi uSergeant mayephendula kahle kahle asihlalanga laphayana ubusuku bonke thina siye saba laphayana ePretoria sifike ngabo 3 ntathabusa uma ingabe bongizuyile umambe kuphana ngobufakazi bami ngiye ngachaza lento engiyisho namanje.
Sergeant, that is not correct. We know now, it's on record, that you actually left there on the 19th. It was after midnight. From 1853 until midnight, you were still there.
Bare sel se bolela ga senne gape ba tseba gore lena le sepitse letšatši le latelang le fitlhile mola ka metsotso e šupileng ka pele ga iri ya bošupa gape la ba mola go fitlheleleng bošego gare.
E re re midnight re na go mane tlhalosetse gore midnight re ka ba nna ga fina go mang.
Can you please-
After 12 o'clock.
Can you please explain to me what time are you referring to when you are referring to midnight? Bara kamera iri ya leso ya masomepedi.
E le go bola botse le beletse AVL re tsamayela go mang e tla le go tsana go mang.
When you recall well, if you would also refer to the AVL, it will also reflect on what time did I leave. Uthi ke lobu bufakazi bokuthi nihambe ngemva kwentathabusa awuchazanga. Uthi ke usajeni ngicela ungichazisele uma ukhuluma ngatathabusa ukhuluma ngayo isiphi isikhathi. Kumele uthi ngisho ubusuku phakathi ngehora leshumi nambili. Uthi uma ningabheka i-AVL izochaza ke ukuthi ngalelo langa ngihambe laphayana ngobani isikhathi.
Actually, Sergeant, the AVL shows that you actually left that place around 19 minutes past 12 midnight.
Bare AVL e bontsha gore lena le sepetse tlongela metsotso ya lesome senyane ka moraga boshigo gare.
Ka gopela o lebella pele ke fetoga.
May I please refer to the AVL before I respond? Uthi ke i-AVL ibonisa ukuthi nihambela phayana imizuzu eyishumi nane nesishagalolunye ngaphambi ngemva kwehora leshumi nambili ebusuku. Uthi ngicela ukuyibheka ngaphambi kokuthi ngaphendula.
A ke bole botse go bela nthushi ga
I do not have my glasses. May the interpreter please assist me. You said what time? 12?
It is 19 minutes past 12 midnight. That is on the 19th.
Okay, one.
Yes, I can see that. Uthi ngiyayibona la usho khona isikhathi semizuzu eyishumi neshagalolunye.
Now you concede that you actually stayed there from 1853 on the 18th, and you only left there on the 19th at 9 minutes past 12 at night.
Biale le a dumela gore lena le fitlhile mola ka 1853 la tlo sepela ka 19 minutes past 12.
Nnete?
That is correct. Uthi yebo ngiyavuma ukuthi sifikela phayana uma kube kusele imizuzu eyisikhombisa ngaphambi kwehora lesikhombisa. Sasuka ke uma kusele uma imizuzu beyishagalolunye ishumi neshagalolunye ngemva kwehora leshumi nambili.
Now let's go back to my initial question. I said to you, this crucial evidence, you never mention it in your evidence in chief. Even after or during the cross-examination by the counsel for accused 1 and 2, you never mentioned that piece of crucial evidence.
As the court is, that is not correct. We did mention it during cross-examination of counsel for accused 1 and 2. The fact that there was a mechanical breakdown of the vehicle, it was mentioned.
What are we arguing about? 19 minutes past 12. Mr. Munyeki, we're arguing about 19 minutes.
My Lord, this witness,
Yeah, you mentioned that he
Yeah.
never mentioned that he was there
Yes.
for the rest of the night.
all I'm putting, my Lord, is that this piece of crucial evidence was not going to be to the benefit of the court had we not have sight of the AVL, because this witness never told us about that crucial evidence.
Your colleague says he did mention it under cross-examination. Mr. Balui says
Yes, but my Lord, the court will remember that this information became clearer when the AVL report was produced, and very late, my Lord, during the examination, re-examination.
Okay, yeah, you may continue, sir.
Thank you, my Lord.
And may I also put it on record that my colleague Mr. Jonas will be assisting in Zulu. I'll be doing Sepedi editing.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Sergeant Mogane, I'm putting it to you that this piece of crucial evidence you only testify about it when the AVL report was produced.
ba re ge lena ba le botša gore bohlatsi bo bohlokwa kudu lena le thomile go bo fana ka bohlatsi ba gona ge se go tlišitšwe bohlatsi bo ba AVL.
nka gana lena ka gore ge le gopola botse a ke tsona be le dutse ka lena gore be le gona maphoto ne re bala AVL at wo Ken Gomezulu ne re bala AVL step by step ke a tsapa go gona mo bohlatsi bo botsuile pele ka mo go nyotsa ona a ke tsona a tshele bo kwena because a gona ga mogolo re ne nka bolela go sena AVL gore ebe botse sa mae ka tsela ka o bolore lo tse dintsi ke bolela ka moaga meraro ya go feta AVL e be le thušitše ka gore yale goro e na le nkabe ka so e na le a clear vision ya gore go dira ka tšeng.
I would like to dispute that, and I do not know where were you sitting, whether were you in court or not when I had testified on this evidence. As the defense for accused number 1 and 2 was asking me, we had went through the AVL step by step, and it assisted for the court to have a clear view, as stated in English by the witness as well.
Meluthi ke lengxenye yobufakazi lena ke asiyona ke ingxenye ebaluleke noma semqoka kangaka akusiyona into oyishilo uma uqala ke noma eqaleni unikezwa ngobufakazi bakho oyishilo uthi cha wenza iphutha ke lapho angazi noma ubukuphi noma ubuhlezi la enkantolo noma ubukuphi yini uma benginikeza ngobufakazi futhi ke ummeli kamsolo wokuqala nowesibili ke uma ebembuza ke besihamba ngayo ke ngokulandelelana ke yona iAVL lena nokuthi futhi ke inkantolo ibone noma izwisise kahle.
Mr. Mogane, you are correct, but you clearly don't understand the question. All I'm saying to you is that in your evidence in chief, this incident about the stop at Mari Street Engine Garage for more than 5 hours, that evidence was never tendered during your evidence in chief. It only came out when you were re-examined by the state.
Barre lena le bolela nnete e fela e ka re gona le ntho le sa ikwishišing ga botse bona ba re bohlatsi bo ba gore lena le dutse garageng yela ye mo Mari Street le dutse nako e ka lekanang le di-iri tše 5 ga senke lena ge be le thoma ka bohlatsi ba lena le ba botse gore re dutse mo garageng yela nako e ka lekanang le di-iri tše 5 e tšweletše ge se ntate Baloyi a le botšiša ge se a le botšiša dipotšo la bobedi. I dispute that.
Ngiyaphikisana ke nalokho uma uthi lokho angikushongo ngobufakazi bami ke uma ngiqala noma obuyinhloko ke kodwa ngikhiphe uma ngabe umshishisi esengibuza futhi okwesibili lokho ngiyakuphikisa.
Let me again remind you. There was a question that was put to you. It was during the time when we were talking about the 17 hours that you spent with the accused on the 18th of June 2020. You were asked the question as to what were you doing with the accused number 2? Why didn't you send him back to Pretoria? Your answer was that, 1, you were still conducting other investigations. 2 was that the accused said he was going to be bored. He was happy to go around with you. Remember that evidence?
But it is correct even before it was interpreted, the witness responded.
Yes.
That it's the truth.
Ufakazi uyavuma ke uthi iqiniso ke ngibuza kona ke ukuthi bengibuziwe ke umbuzo ukuthi nkathi ke ngami no accused number 2 ngachitha amahora awu17 kanye naye izathu ke ngisinikezile ukuthi ke ngisaphenya ke nokuthi wasethi yena ke hayi ke uzoqhubeka ke noma uzaba body ke uma engabuyela yebo uyiqiniso lokho.
Sgt Mogane, I'm putting to you that that moment was your opportunity to tell this court that the reason you also took so long to get back to Pretoria, it was because you had a breakdown on the road. But you never mentioned.
Bare yana nako e be le nako e maleba ya gore lena le tle le botse kgoro gore lebaka le le dirileng gore le tšee nako ye telele ka mokgo gore lena le be le boya le Pretoria e be le ka lebaka la gore koloi ya lena ile ya senyega kaufi ya lena ba senke le botse kgoro seo. I remember informing the court. I do not recall mentioning anything else.
Uthi-ke lelo ke bekuyithuba lapho kuyichazelwa ke enkantolo ukuthi-ke esinye seyizathu kuwukuthi-ke imoto lena-ke kwayengakhoniki ukuthi ingaqhubeka-ke nokuhamba yayinenkinga. Uthi-ke ngikhumbula-ke ngiyitshela-ke inkantolo angikhumbuli nje ngisho kunye.
Now, Mr. Mogane, if in your evidence in chief you did not tell this court about this incident, because I remember very well when you started talking about calling Jonathan, who came and organized a mechanic to assist you. It was during the re-examination. It was not during your evidence in chief.
Ba re bona ba gopola gore botlhatsi bo le ile la fana ka bona ge ne le bolela ka gore le ile la bitša Jonathan yena ke mo e leng gore o ile a tla a bitša mathusha tšatšing ke ge le gore ke nako e be ba le botšiša dipotšišo lekgala bobedi ga se ge be le thoma lena ka botlhatsi ba lena.
E le ka bušia botse ke rile ge re tloga Carltonville o na le di-case tše be ke di dira tše e le gore kgoro sa leng kgopela gore ke di-printle ka lefa tšona gomme ke di a tlala court ya rena e le o tsere bjale rena ge re phenya di-case tša na e šoro kudu nka se no dintšha ga botse gore diraeng ro diraeng.
If you would recall well, I had mentioned that as we were coming back from Carltonville, there were other matters that we were investigating, and some of them are those ones that were leaked in court, and you would recall that our cases are very dangerous, so we would not just disclose everything that we are investigating.
Uma uzokhumbula kahle-ke ngishilo ukuthi nkathi sibuya noma sasibuya ngayo-ke eCarltonville kunamanye amacala esasiwaphenya-ke futhi nokuthi-ke ilawo macala-ke la ibinkantolo-ke ibise yangicela-ke ukuthi-ke ngilethe imininingwane nokuthi futhi-ke amacala-ke esiwaphenyayo-ke amacala-ke abucayi kabi asikwazi-ke ukuthi nje singabe sesidalule imininingwane yalawo macala lawo.
You see, Sergeant, you are again confusing issues.
Mr. Mnyeki, can't you leave that for argument?
No,
because this witness can't argue against.
It's fine.
Wait. He can't argue against forensic evidence. If you putting it to him that he never said it in chief, that's it. You can pursue it under argument, because he says you were not in court. You don't remember what I said. I remember I said that. I dispute what you said. So we're going to be doing all this disputation, and I remember, you don't remember, until when? Until when?
As it pleases the court, my lord, I will leave that for argument.
Yeah, argument. Then you can show that this witness' mind is wandering.
Indeed, madam.
Yes.
Sgt Mogane, after the Murray state, you said Jonathan organized the mechanic. Is that still your evidence?
Le rile ge le stole fitlile mola mo mmileng wa Mari ke mo eleng gore Jonathan yena o ile a bitša mathusha tšatši. It is confirmed.
Ngisakusho-ke ngikushilo ngaphambili ukuthi-ke uJonathan uyena-ke kathi imoto-ke yayingahambi inenkinga owasibethela-ke umakhenikhi.
And how was this mechanic paid?
Yena o patetšwe jwang
for fixing the state car?
go lokišeng koloi ya mmušo.
Well, I get to mechanic
Well, I do not know, as it's their mechanic. I do not know how they paid that mechanic.
Ukuthi-ke wakhokha kanjani-ke ngokuthi alungiseke imoto yombuso angikwazi lokho kwakuwumakhenikhi wabo ukuthi bangikhokha ngayiphi indlela angazi.
Let me also put it to you, Mr. Sgt Mogane, that even Jonathan, when he was giving evidence in this court, he never mentioned this incident at Murray Engine. And that he had to organize a mechanic to come and fix your car. He never mentioned that.
Bare nke ba le botsege gore le Jonathan ge be a tlile kgorong ga senke a bolele taba ya mechanic gore o ile a swanela gore a bitse mathusha tšatšing gore a tle a tlo le thusha go lokiša koloi yale ga senke a e bolele yeo ka kgorong.
a ke tsebe nka se mo arabela ka re koloi bele ya rena e se ya bona so a ke tsona nkanya sa e bolelela.
I do not know. I would not be able to respond on his behalf, as the vehicle was ours, not theirs. So I do not know why he did not mention that in court.
Kumele uyamchazela-ke ufakazi ukuthi noJonathan Mbala-ke nkathi ela enkantolo akakushongo lokhu ukuthi yena-ke khona lapha kuleya engine baphoqelekayo ukuthi alethe umakhenikhi. Uthi angazi-ke angeke ngimphendulele nokuthi futhi-ke imoto kwakuyimoto yethu-ke kwakungasiyona-ke eyakho.
On that issue, lastly, I'm putting it to you that there was no way he would tell this court because that incident did not happen the way you are telling this court now.
Bar bona mo mafellong mo go yona taba ye ba re ba nyaka go le botsa gore be go sena ka mokgwa eleng gore a ba ka botsa kgoro ka gona ka lebaka la gore ntho e leng gore lena le tlhaloša ka gona ga se diragale ka mokgwa lena le tlhalošang ka gona.
a ke tsona ke tla fetola bjang ke sa eme nna ka laka le ntho.
I do not know how to respond further to that question. However, I still stand by my word.
Ukuthi-ke ngizophendula kanjani-ke lokhu kushoyo ukuthi-ke uJonathan akakushongo lokho ngoba akuzange kwenzeke ngale ndlela enisho ngayo angazi-ke kodwa mina lokho engikushoyo ngisakusho namanje.
I will leave that for argument.
Ba re ba tla elesa ba tla ba bakishana ka yona bona reshe dipolekishano tsa go bakishana di fihla.
Sgt Mogane, now we know that you left engine garage at 19 minutes past 12. Where did you go?
Ba re a tseba ge gore rena le sepetse mo la engine garage 19 minutes ka moraga iri ya lesomepedi le ile kae?
le la ra bala morago Pretoria North.
We went back to Pretoria North.
Uma ke sisuka laphayana-ke kuya engine-ke ngo-19 imizuzu ewu-19 eshayile u-12 sabuyela ePretoria North.
Straight to Pretoria North, no any other stops.
Le ile to Pretoria North ga gona mo gongwe mo le emeng gona.
re go gopola re sepetse bjang.
If my memory serves me well, indeed, we went straight to Pretoria North.
Mangikhumbula kahle-ke akho la esandlula khona noma semakhona sahamba saya ePretoria North.
If I tell you that that is not actually correct, you actually went to Eraton and you arrived there at 12:38.
Bare ge ba ka le botsa gore lena ga se nnete sewe lena le fetetse Eraton la fitla gona metsotsong ye 30 mo borago ga bošigo gare le ka reng ka sewe.
e ka lo ba nnete a kere re tlo lebella ke aka AVL so nka se gopole gore ke eme kae mara gopolo gore ke ile straight mara e ke eme ka ba ke eme because Eraton is one of our head offices.
That could be correct. However, I'm going through as the AVL states on where did I stop. I do not recall. However, Eraton is one of our head offices.
Ukuthi-ke ngaya-ke noma ngadlula e-Eraton la ngafika khona ngo-12:38 angeke ngiphikiseke noma ngithi angeke kwenzeke akuzange kwenzeke-ke lokho kodwa-ke ngihamba nge-AVL uma ngiphendula-ke futhi kungenzeka-ke ngoba i-Eraton enye-ke ama-head office ethu.
And the record of AVL shows that you remained there for close to 30 minutes.
Bare ge di record tša AVL di bontšha gore lena le dutše mowe nakong ye ka lekanang le metsotso ye 30.
Gopela go lebella AVL ya tsona.
May I go through the AVL?
Ukuthi-ke ngama u-30 minutes lapho bengicela nje ukubheka-ke i-AVL.
No ke nnete ke e bona.
I can see that it is correct.
Kuyiqiniso ngiyakubona lokho.
Now the question is that what were you doing there with the accused number 2 at midnight?
Utsho ke gore bjale be le dirang mo le molatofatšo wa bobedi magareng ga bošego.
Ka ke tšetše ke boletše gore ke one of ya dikantoro tša rena ga re ke fitlhile mo ke sa ke tšea dipampiri tše dingwe le gore a ke sa gopole ke la time mara ke a gopola gore no re fetile mo.
As I have already mentioned that it's one of our offices, it is possible that I had went there to collect some documents. However, I do not recall which documents are those.
Ukuthi ngangenzani ke lapho kanye naye umsolo wesibili ke ngisakhumbula kahle ke kungenzeka ukuthi kwakhona ama documents amaphepha ke engangiyowalanda kodwa ke ukuthi awaphi angisakhumbula noma imaphi.
And I am going to put it to you that in your evidence in chief, this evidence was never mentioned by you.
Marabanya ka go le botsa gore le bona botlhatse bo ge be le fana ka botlhatse la le khala mathomo le na ga senke la bo bolela botlhatse
Sakana na lena Afrika ka re be re ba leader ka AVL this document. Re fitile mo re ba di lore na go mpusha go no sa le nga butshana be dirang. Ntho le e be le butcha budu ni taba ya dumping site ka tso para se dumping site mo aerial photography ya specialist sa matweto wa AVL for sure bontši tšo ke office tša rena.
I believe I had testified on this. I recall when we were going through the AVL properly, we did specify about this place. However, no one asked me on what were we doing there. And I would believe that the only point it was when I was asked about the dumping site. And I believe that the photographs of the witness that testified on the AVL, the specialist, he would have maybe shown that this is not the dumping site.
Ukuthi ke lo bufakazi angibishongo ke uma ngiqala ukunikeza ngobufakazi bami ke ngikhumbula kahle ukuthi ke uma ngangibuza ke ngibuzwa ngayo AVL lena ke akekho umuntu owangibuza ukuthi ke ngangenzani ke laphayana kodwa ngikhumbulayo ke ubufakazi ukuthi kwakhulunywa ngedumping site noma ke indawo ke yokulahla ke izibi ngicabanga ukuthi ke nangenkathi ke ungoti ke ebekhona la utshengisile ukuthi akusiyona ke idumping site lena kodwa ke ama office noma ke indawo.
I will leave that for argument because it's not correct.
Barbata ile sali yona ewe obane seo se bolelang ga se nnete.
Now, Sgt Mogane, we know that you returned to Pretoria on the 19th and you arrived or the AVL report shows that the engine was switched off at about 2:30. Is that correct?
Bargabe re a tseba gore lena le boetse Pretoria mo ileng gore engine ile ya timiwa metsotso e 30 ka moraga iri ya bobedi.
Sa go pela go lebella AVL ya ka
May I please go through the AVL?
ya ke nnete.
Yes, it is correct.
Kuyatshengisa ke lana lokho ongibuza khona ke ukuthi ngabuyela ke khona ePretoria ngaye u2:30.
Sgt Mogane, if we calculate the hours from 8:15 or 8:11, when you book out accused number 2 to Carltonville, at 2:30, more or less, how many hours are we talking about here?
Baragere lebella di iri go tlogella metsotsong ya lesomete ka moraga iri ya seswai letšatšing lela la di 18 go yešeng ke mola metsotso ye 30 ka moraga iri ya bobedi mola ka di 19 mohlomong e be le di iri tše kae.
Ke tsebe le ka mpotsa go sa ke tsebe le pabotse.
I do not know as I am not well versed with mathematics.
ukuthi ke amahora amangaki ke la usuka ngenkathi ke ngakhipha ngayo ke umsolo wesibili kwaze kwayisikhathi la engibuyisela khona ngo-2:30 angazi ke ibalo ke muhle kuzona.
Will I be wrong if I said our last estimate was about 17 hours?
Bare ba tla be ba dira portionale bare re ile ra re motlhomong e ka tswa e be le diiri tse lesomešupa.
Jwale wa nnete.
It could be correct.
And somewhere in your evidence, you said that whatever you were eating, the accused number 2 was also eating.
Go na le gape mo botlhatsing ba lena mo le rineng sebe le seja le molatefatso wa bobedi ena o ba.
Ga gona nnete ya go feta ena.
There is no truth that surpasses that one. It is correct.
Alikho iqiniso elidlula lelo ukuthi konke esasikudla naye kumsolo wesibili wayekudla.
Is there evidence that you can present before the court to show that indeed he had something to eat?
Bo gona botlhatsi bo e leng gore le ka botlhagisha forum bo bontšhang gore ke nnete molatefatso wa le ena o jele.
Gape fela ke tsona ke tla re ke ngwaga e meraro ya go feta dijo re a dija di a feta dilipi re a latlha fela ke tsona ke tla tlhagiša botlhatsi ba ka bjang go ja gona o jele.
I do not know what type of evidence would that be as 3 years have already passed. We eat food and it does not stay in our intestines, and then the receipts, we had also lost those receipts. However, we ate.
Ukuthi ke yiphi ke inhlobo yobufakazi oyifunayo ke noma othi ke ngitshengise yona angazi ke ngoba ke ukudla siyakudla akuhlali la thina ke ngaphakathi sekundlule neminyaka emithathu futhi nawo ke amaphepha noma ama-receipts asisenawo. Kodwa ukudla wadla.
And you expect this court to take your word for it with no evidence?
Lena le nyaka gore kgoro e tšee botlhatsi bo be ba lena le sena le nyaka gore kgoro e tšee mantšu ya le wa bolelang le sena botlhatsi.
Ka tshepa gore kgoro e tla kwešiša gore be re na le botho le lerato la gore motshwariwa ga ija a jelelete e le be re tsamareke le dijo tša maemo a fase ge re ja KFC wa ja ge re ja Nando's wa ja whatever we eat so re ntse re ja gore re mo rekela le ena.
I believe the court would see that we had humanity in us, as whatever that we would eat, the accused would also eat. Whenever we eat KFC, he would eat. Whenever we eat Nando's, he would eat. We were not buying food that was underrated for him.
Ukuthi ke inkantolo noma ngifisa noma ngifuna ukuthi ke inkantolo ke ikholweke lokho engikushoyo lana ke inkantolo nje mina ukuthi iboneke ukuthi sasinobuntu ngalelo langa lelo sasimthengela ke lokudla sasikudla singamthengeleki uma thina sidla KFC simthengeleke okunye ukudla naye wayedla KFC uma ukuthi sidla Nando's nayo ke naye adle Nando's loyo.
Sergeant, I will leave that for argument.
Mara le yona e we batla e lesa ba tla tla ba ba ditšhana ka yona.
Then on the 19th, we know now that the accused number 2 was booked back at 2:30. What time did you book him out again?
Ba re a tseba gore ka di 19 molatefatso o ile a bušetšwa ka metsotso e 30 ka moraga iri ya bobedi jwate lena le ile la montšha neng gape le mo book out.
E kopa la botse re tsamaileng ka 10 to 5
If my memory serves me well, we had booked him out at 10 minutes to 5 in the morning.
Uma ngikhumbula kahle ke ngalo lelo langa lelo ke le 19 uma sibuka out noma ngimkhipha ngoba ku 10 to 5 ekuseni.
Are you able to assist us with the times between 2:30 and 4:50?
Le ka kgona gore thuša ka nako magareng ga 2:30 le 4:50.
ke kwešišo na le ke le thuša ka mokgwa mang?
I do not understand what type of assistance are you asking for regarding those times.
If I look at the time between 2:30 and 4:50, it indicates to me that accused number 2 was actually at Pretoria North for less than 3 hours. Is that correct?
Bare bona ga ba lebella nako magareng ga 2:30 le 4:50 ba bona gore molatofatswa wa bobedi yena o ba le mola Pretoria North iri cheka fase ga iri tshetharo. That is correct.
Kuyiqiniswa kuma ubheke ukusuka ke na 2:30 kuya ke ku 4:50 ukuthi ngaphansi nje kwamahora amathathu.
And ordinarily, he was in the car in your company for 17 hours. If he arrives at Pretoria North, it is expected that he should have gone and taken a shower to be fresh. Is that not possible?
Bara ga wa khonagale na gore jwalo ka ba bang a be a le koloing ya lena di iri tse ka bang tse lesome shupa yena e re ge ya fitla Pretoria North ye be le gore mohlomong o ile a ya a ilo itsokotsa na.
E di tlhalositse gore monna modimo ba phela edile.
What I will explain to the court is that this gentleman, he was sleeping most of the time.
Bekungalindelekile yini uma kuwukuthi ke wafika ke khona ePretoria North ngo 2:30 ukuthi akahambeke ayoyigeza engakutshela lenkantolo ukuthi ke umbisa lona ke wayelala ke ikhathi eningi
Nogomme le ga re sepela le yena be ke sa go mo go ra hlapa no ba no phela edile a le botse ba le gore gore wa hlapa ka kwa diseleng I ka mogolong ka belo ra hlapa ka ba ke mokwelo ra ba monna ge shwa be le kwa pala be tsa mo tshwara mitse.
And even as we were traveling with him, there was no point where I had a bad odor on him. He was always smelling fresh, and if there was a time where he did not smell fresh, I would have informed him that now it's time for you to take a bath.
futhi ke ngakutshela lenkantolo ukuthi ngaso sonke ke isikhathi engangihamba naye ke asikho isikhathi la khona ke kwakunephunga ke ozwayo ukuthi cha leli phunga ke akusilona iphunga elimnandi ke uma kuwukuthi bakufinyelele kulokho ila ngangizosho kuyona ngithi hayi ndoda cha manje sekufinile isikhathi sokuthi manje ukuyogeza.
I take your explanation for the purposes of this question. So you agree with me that when he arrived at 2:30, chances are he went and took a bath or a shower.
Bara gora gore bona ba tla itse gore ge be a fitla ka metsotso ele e masoma mararo moraga iri ya bobedi yena le nagana gore o ile a sepela a ile tlhapa.
Nka no ro tlhapile ge ke le botsa ke ra zanga no ba mongwa gore monna ge shwa wa tsena metseng.
I could state that he had taken a shower since I did not hear any bad smell from him that he did not take a bath.
Uma ngakuphendula ke ngembuzo leyo ukuthi ke uma efika ngo 2:30 ngenzeka ukuthi yini wayohlala nake namanzi ngasho ukuthi kwenzeka ukuthi wageza ngoba ke uma ke sengiphinda ngimthatha futhi angizange ngilizweke iphunga elingemnandi.
So then it will mean that another 20 minutes, 30 minutes from 2:30, after 2:30, another 20, 30 minutes was for a shower.
No, but that's speculation. Answer. How do you know that he had a shower?
That is what he said.
No,
He said there
no,
was
he's
no
making
smell.
suppositions.
Okay.
That he never had, never smelled any bad odor. So he takes it for granted that he could have had shower. Now you want to delineate the time, 2:30, 30 minutes within which he could have showered. We don't know that.
As it pleases the court, my lord. Ordinarily, if I don't know how prison works, if you arrived in prison at 2:30, do you have a meal put somewhere for you to eat that time of the night?
Bara ga ba tsebe gore go le wa ibereka jwang motlhomong ge motho a fitlhile ka na nako ela ya bo 2:30 motho wa e a khumane ba mmetse dijo.
Tse ke tlhalositse ke re sepela le yena gore bile le re sepela di court go ka go fa mohlala ge re sa ya phukeng.
As I have explained that as we are traveling with him, even when we are traveling to different courts, I would give you an example when we were going to Puking.
Nanjengoba senishilo-ke ngaphambili-ke ube umbuzo uthi-ke uma nifika ngo-2:30 kukhona la bebe khona ukudlala ukuthi uma efika akuthole. Bengishilo khona ngaphambili ukuthi nanjengoba sihamba besiya kwezinkantolo ezahlukene angithi nje isibonelo ngisebenziseke uma sesibesiya ePhukeng.
Re fetša o postpone re boela morago go na le more ye mang re itša.
After the matter has been postponed, going back, there is a certain place where we would stop and eat.
Bekuthi-ke uma sesibuyele emuva-ke icala selihlehlisiwe kulala esizoma khona-ke sidle.
Gomme ge re tloga moga before re miša ka diseleng police station re ema mo gausi le police station ya go na le garage ya Sasol mo gausi le Valeria police station.
And before we take him to the cells, there is a garage next to Valeria police station. We would also stop there.
Ngaphambi kokuthi simseke simhambise siye emaselinye-ke uma ngaphambi kokuthi nje ufike-ke kuyona police station yase Valeria unosasolo khona.
Gomme o tla mmotša gore monna ka lebele go ya ka diseleng o ra re le dijo tša mosegaradio and ntho gape o ba dula le temo gare ga sele, so be re dira sure gore go tsena le dijo ga tsena ka mola diseleng.
And we would ask him, as now you are about to go to the cells and it has already passed the afternoon, you would not find food. Then we would make sure that he goes into the cell with food, as he was staying alone in a cell.
Okunye futhi-ke bese kwenza besenza isiqiniseko kwabo ukuthi nanjengoba besithi uma sesimbuyisela kona-ke amasela bese siyakhuluma-ke siyasho-ke kuyena ukuthi manje uma uyongena ngaphakathi-ke sesidlululeke nesikhathi-ke sokudla. Besenza isiqiniseko-ke sokuthi uma ungena enako noma ephethe ukudla ngoba-ke ebeyedwa kwisela ebekusona.
Ebile o tla ikgethela ronya go jera mo tshorna mogalabe le gore nya go ja eng a bolele nthanya ga re mo rekele ka pelo e tshweu.
And he would also have a choice on what he would want to eat. We would ask him what does he prefer to eat, and we would buy whatever that he prefers to eat.
Okunye futhi-ke besiyekela-ke nabo ukuthi ayikhethele noma ayisholo ukuthi-ke benesifiso sokuthi adleni ngaleso sikhathi noma-ke ngalelo langa lelo-ke simthengele lokho afisa ukuthi abe nako noma akudle.
Is that what happened on that day?
Ke ntho e diragetseng ka letšatši leo.
Ka moka matšatši ga gona tšatši a sa tseneng a sa ja re tla kgontišiša gore wa ja.
All the days, there is no day where he had went into the cell without eating. We always made sure that he eats.
Asho ukuthi yiloko kwenzeka ngalelo langa lelo, kodwa-ke into ebiyenzeka-ke ngawo onke amalanga besenza isiqiniseko sokuthi-ke akangeni ngaphakathi-ke kwiseli sakhe engadlile.
Sergeant, you have an AVL report. Can you show us that on that day the motor vehicle stopped at that Sasol garage that you are talking about, so that you can buy accused number 2 food?
Barle na le AVL mo kgausole. Ngele re bontsha gore ka tšatši leuwe koloi ile ya ema Sasol garage ye le bolelang ka yona gore letle le rekele molatofatšwa dijo.
Re le gopola botse dirile advocate Ngomezulu a Nkrosko ke re jile kwa engine garage.
If you recall well, when Advocate Ngomezulu was examining me, I had said we ate at engine garage.
Umshayeli umele becela ukuthi-ke asitshengiseke kule AVL la khona-ke ingena khona-ke eSasol la ngithengela khona kumsolo wesibili ukudla. Uthi uma ukhumbula kahle-ke nkathi u-Advocate Ngomezulu embuza-ke imibuzo ngathi sangena e-engine la esadla khona.
Wa Albertine nako go botsa ka Sasol garage go botsa ka matšatši a mangwe ge re tšwa court le mosegare re tsana mola re berekela dijo tšatši le gore re jile kwa engine garage Albertine go senana ke ya go ja foo.
And the engine garage that I am referring to, it was in Alberton, and there are other days. The ones that I'm referring to, Sasol, it was other days, and on this particular day, we ate at engine garage in Alberton.
Engine food loyo-ke engine wase Alberton. Usasol-ke ngikhuluma ngayo, ngikhuluma-ke ngamanye-ke amalanga noma ngezinye-ke iy'nsuku. la esingangena khona-ke kwasasol.
And again, you don't have any evidence to show or to produce to this court that indeed on that day you bought food at that engine garage.
Le ka yona ye ya dijo tša engine garage ga le na bone botlhatsi o e leng gore le ka bo bontšha gore le ka tšatši le o rekile dijo. As I have previously testified that food does not stay in our intestine.
Bese ngiphenduleke lokho ukuthi-ke nanje ngobuza ukuthi akubufakazi eningabuletha obutshengisayo ukuthi sadlala kwa-engine bese ngishilo ukuthi ukudla kuhlale ngaphakathi kuthini.
I'll leave that for argument, Sergeant.
Ba re le yona ewe ba tla elesa ba elesetša ge setse ba kiša.
Then, Sergeant, at 4:30 on the 19th, you book accused number 2 out of Pretoria North Prison. You proceeded to Moroka Police Station. Is that correct?
Bare ka di 19 ka 4:30 le la buka molatofatwa le montsha le moisha police station ya Moroka.
No, we mchitsa ka 450 lo wana veria Fosloras court
On that particular day of the 19th, we booked him out at 4:50, and actually we were going to Fosloras court, not Moroka.
Umele uthi-ke ngalelo langa lelo ke bathi ngalanga 19 ngo-4:30 lamkhipha-ke umsolwanya naye eMoroka uthi cha akusona-ke iqiniso lelo ngalelo langa sakhupha-ke isikhamkhipha isikhathi ku-4:50 futhi-ke sasingayi-ke eMoroka sasiya enkantolo yase-Phosphorus.
All I'm saying to you, Sergeant, is that initially you were going to Fosloras Police, Fosloras Court, but you ended up at Moroka Police Station after Brigadier Gininda called you and told you that you need to take accused number 2 to Moroka Police Station.
Ba se ba se bolela ke gore lena le be le tswile le be le nyaka go ya khorong ya Fosloras e o pia le fele tšesetse le gore lena le ya police stationing ya Moroka ka moraga gore Brigadier Gininda a be a lletše mogala a le botše gore le tswelle pele le go. That is correct.
Ekuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi-ke ekuqaleni-ke sasiya-ke enkantolo-ke akhona-ke eFosloras kodwa kwathi-ke uma sesishayelwa-ke ucingo uyena uBrigadier Gininda athi-ke asiqale khona eMoroka.
After Moroka, you went to Fosloras Court, is that correct?
Ka moraga gore le tlogile Moroka la ya khorong ya Fosloras. That is correct.
Bese kuthi emuva kalokho-ke eMoroka sasesiya eFosloras.
And you found that the case against accused number 2 was not enrolled on that day, is that correct?
La khumana gore molato wa molatofatwa wa bobedi bo sego di tokomaneng tša kgoro tšatši leo.
A ke re preverisha bele wana re saya a ke tsone gore a dio go ya ka re bona ne re saya ne se postponement ne re saya go play some luck.
I do not understand what do you mean when you're saying the matter was not on the road, as we were still going to put the matter on the road.
Uma uthi-ke safika-ke sathola ukuthi-ke icala-ke lalingekho kuhle lamacala alelo langa lelo ukuthi usho ukuthini angikuzwisisi ngoba-ke sasisendleleni ngoba sasiya khona lapho ukuthi icala liyofaka-ke kuhle lamacala asenkantolo.
Sergeant, your evidence was that you went to Moroka Police Station. After that, you went to Fosloras Court. And upon your inquiry, you found out that that matter was not on the roll.
Moroka Police Station ke ge le gore e rile ge le botšiša ke ge le gore lena ba le botša gore molato we wona ga wo ditokomaneng tša kgoro.
Se nnete molato wa sanka ba go enrolla mo controlling e se gore a wogo ka mo ke tlhatša ke a se molato re go tswela pele ke mo le re sa buiša moswa.
It is not correct, as the matter was not yet placed on the court roll. It was a new matter It's not that we were going for a matter that had previously been postponed. It was still a new matter.
Akubona-ke kuqiniswa ukuthi-ke icala lelo lalingekho kokuhlala amacala ngoba akusiwo ukuthi bakuyicala elaliqhubeka-ke noma elalivelile-ke ngaphambi kodwa bakuyicala elaliyovela okokuqala phambi kwemanje noma-ke liyofakwa kuhla lamacala.
My point, Sergeant, is that accused number 2 never appeared on that day.
Taba ya bona ke gore molatofatso wa bobedi a seng ke a tsene kgorong tšatši leo.
Ka ge a ke a tshepa gore le na le mengwaga e mentši le bereka le le moemedi ke a tseba gore ge o fitlha court re iša ga o ka etepele ga motšhotšhisi ge e le gore motšhotšhisi a enroll mo listing mogona le gore moswari a ka se appeare court o tlo no tswa ka kwadiseleng morago a ka se appeare le gore a ba enroll.
Yes, and I believe you have experience as an advocate. When an accused is to be taken to court and the matter is not put on the roll, then that particular accused would not appear before the court. The accused would then leave through the cells.
Nesiqiniseko sokuthi nanjengomeli noma-ke umeli omkantibomvu uyazi-ke ukuthi uma icala liyobiswa-ke phambi kwenkantolo uma kuwukuthi-ke alifakiwe kuhla lamacala ngalelo langa lelo angeke umsolwa-ke ayobingelela imantshi kodwa-ke uzophuma-ke ngemuva kuma-cells.
Sergeant, my point is the accused never appeared in court on that day. The reasons I'm not interested.
Ba re taba ya bona ke gore molatofatso yena a senke a tsene ka kgorong ka tšatši leo mabaka ga bana taba le bona.
Ka ke tlhalošedi ke tlhalošitše court o ile
Let's proceed, Sergeant.
Ba re le se re jwale.
You from Foslora's court, you went back to Morocco.
Ya re vele tloga kgorong ya Fosloras la boela Morocco.
ke nnete.
That is correct.
Masibuya-ke Fosloras sa buyela khona-ke eMorocco.
And you explained to the court the reason why you went back to Morocco, right?
Le tlhalošetše kgorong ke re mabaka a gore gobaneng le be le boela Morocco.
ke nnete.
That is correct.
Ngichaza nesizathu sokuthi kwakungani sibuyele eMorocco.
And Sergeant, I am aware that in your evidence in chief, that evidence you never tendered to court. You only tendered it after the production of the AVL report.
Ba re bona ba tseba gape le gore ge be le thoma ka bohlatsi ba lena ga senke la bolela bohlatsi boue le thomile go bolela ka bona ge sešo go tswile bohlatsi bo ba AVL.
a ke sa gopola botse mara nka ba ke phošitše le gore ke a go bolela.
I do not recall well, however, I would have made a mistake if I did not state that in my evidence in chief.
Angisakhumbuli kahle ukuthi kwisiphi isigaba uma ngisho lokho kufakazi kodwa uma kuwukuthi-ke ukufakazi bami kuyihloka ngisho lokho ukuthi-ke ngenze iphutha noma ngenza iphutha.
It's fine, Sergeant. I will leave that also for argument.
Leone we ba re batla elesa tla re se ba phenkgishan batla e bolela.
Now, Sergeant, you are in Morocco police station.
Biale le se le fitlhile sepodiseng sa Morocco.
You want to go to Rustenburg because your ultimate destination was Phuket. Is that correct?
Le nyaka go ya Rustenburg e jwalo ka ga ile gore lena le be le ikemišitše go ya Phokeng. Innete. That is correct.
Uqiniswa-ke masifika-ke khona-ke Morocco la esasiya khona-ke kwakuthi-ke siya-ke eRustenburg ePhukeng.
Sergeant, just one issue on that aspect. If you are in Morocco, you want to go to Phuket, which one will be the closest road?
Ge le le Morocco le nyaka go ya Phokeng tsela ye leng gore e tlo ba kgauswi e tlo ba efe?
ge go gopodiša botse go tsena N1 Benskuman Pretoria Rustenburg Road ke yona e nna ke itsebang.
The route that I know is N1, then into Benskuman, Pretoria, and you then go to Rustenburg. That is the route that I know.
Engaziyo-ke mina uma useMorocco ufisa ukuthi uye-ke eRustenburg noma-ke ePhukeng uzophuma khona-ke ungene ku-N1 uhambe-ke uthi ePretoria bese-ke manje uhamba ngayo-ke eRustenburg Road iyona-ke ngiyaziyo mina.
if I say to you, the quickest route, it will be from Moroka to Randfontein, Krugersdorp, Machalis, if you choose that route, then you'll be in Rustenburg in less than 1.5 hours. Will you dispute that?
Bare bona ge ba ka re tsela ye leng gore le be le ka e shumisha e be ka ba go ya Randfontein le tsene Krugersdorp le feta Magalis ge le fetša e be le gore lena le tsena Rustenburg le ka e ganetša
ka
taba
se le ganetše nna ke sepela ke tsebang le wena ke wena o e tsebang gore e kgauswi a ke nka se ganetše nka se dumele nka se gane gape.
I would not dispute, neither will I agree with it. I used the one that I know, and you would also use the easier road that you know.
Ukuthi ke kwakufanele noma mhlawumbe uma ngiphuma lapho bese ngena ke eKrugersdorp ngihambe ngeMagalisi eRandfontein eKrugersdorp sekuba eMagalisi bese kuthi ke nje isikhathi esingabe ehora ke nesigaba ngizofika ke laSenberg indlela eyaziwa uwena ke leyo angeke ngivumelane ngiphikisane nawe mina ngasebenzisa eyaziwa yimina.
Thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant, when you arrived in Rustenburg on the 19th, you are going to Phuket. Where did you go when you enter Rustenburg?
Ge le fitlha Rustenburg le ya Phokeng ka di 19 le ile la ya kae ge le tsena Rustenburg?
E go gopola botse ra sopola re tsene police station re a feta ra ya straight go wa dulago mara re tsene re go fihle mo dulang.
If I remember well, I would not remember if we went into a police station. However, we did arrive where the accused stays.
Uma sesifika khona lapho ke eLaSenberg manje ephukeni ngisafuna noma ke saqala ke police station yini kodwa egcineni ke sayofika ke noma saya la ahlala khona umsolo.
You see, Sergeant, now you are so salty, and I know the reason why you are so salty. You remember your evidence on the 14th of November. You told this court. That is how I know about Baobao Street in Freedom Park. That you actually on that day went straight to accused number 2's residence. You remember that evidence?
Ba re jwale lena le se le phetoga se leng gore lena le be le se boletse ka di 14 tša November le boletse le ka mmila wa Baobao le bolela le ka go tsena ka Freedom Park ke mo e leng gore lena le feletse le mo molatofatšo a dulang gona le sa gopola bohlatsi boo.
Ya gopola le re Baobao be ke bala AVL ka itse gore la Baobao e ka mara ka AVL mpontšitšwa go ya gona.
I recall, however, when referring to Baobao, it was when I was going through the AVL, and that is where it showed me the street name Baobao, but I did not know where Baobao was.
Uma uthi ke nge 14 November ke mina ngathi ke ngiyazi ke ngoba ke ngase ngikhuluma ngeBaobao uma ngikhuluma ngayo ke ngaso istrata noma ngaqoqa iBaobao ukuthi ngangibuke yona ke noma ngibheke yona iAVL yona ke angitshela ngeBaobao ukuthi mina ngiyayazi.
And you were asked by the state as to did you go to...
The machine is off. Okay, let's adjourn the time now.
It's almost time for the short adjournment. We can take the short adjournment at this point.
Okay,
When it's not on, then it's not recording you.
I don't know.